It is about to get real scary in the NBA. As we can see, tweeted by Shams, Los Angeles Clippers star Kawhi Leonard plans to make his season debut tonight, Saturday, versus the Atlanta Hawks at the new Clippers Stadium. That is insane and crazy news. Kawhi Leonard is finally returning in 2025. He missed the first 3 months of the season or whatever it was, and this Clippers team is still looking like one of the better teams in the Western Conference. They're still above 500, still in that playoff race for a top 6 seed. And now you're getting a guy in Kawhi Leonard back, which, yes, might take some time to gel. Might take some time for him to get back to his old form because I'm sure he's going to come in a little bit rusty and he's not going to come back to his superb efficiency numbers. And I don't think he's going to, tonight drop 40 points on great efficiency. And it's going to take some time to get used to, for this LA Clippers team because they've asked guys like Norman Powell to really step up offensively. Zubac has been put into a way bigger role offensively as well. So now when Kawhi Leonard gets put back into the mix, he's going to kind of stop a lot of things from happening. But in the long run, I do think the Clippers are obviously going to be better with Kawhi Leonard. It just might not happen right away. But Kawhi Leonard is definitely going to help this Clippers team, who already look really good in the Western Conference. We can see how good Kawhi was last year in the regular season for this Clippers squad, and that was also with Paul George on the team, who was taking up a lot of touches and a lot of shots. So we could see these numbers even start to rise for Kawhi Leonard if he's back to his full health. But last year he averaged 24 points per game, he averaged 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, while also getting you 1.6 steals per game and close to a block per game as well. But the thing about Kawhi is he was super efficient last year, over 50% from the field, over 40% from three, and he's also a really good free throw shooter, almost 90%. So across the board, a very efficient player in Kawhi Leonard. We know that's what he's known for. He's just super efficient on the offensive end. He gets his buckets very easily. He doesn't take too many tough shots, and when he does, he's able to knock them down. But the thing about Kawhi is his defense. I mean, there's not too many good point of attack defenders on this Clippers roster. But you get Kawhi Leonard back when he's at his peak and when he's at his prime and when he's fully healthy, which maybe he's not going to get back to right away. He is a very, very good on-ball point of attack defender, one of the best we've ever seen in the NBA. So the Clippers getting this type of defense and this level of efficiency and offense back for the squad is only going to make them a lot more scarier, because I think they're going to be better than they were last year, because they already look like they're almost as good as they were last year, and that's without Kawhi Leonard, and they lost Paul George. I understand that, but sometimes I think less is more, and I feel like this is going to be a really good thing for this LA Clippers team. We can see here in the Western Conference, the Clippers, like I said, are kind of in that playoff race. They are right now the 7th seed. They are 19-15, so they're still 4 games above 500, and if you look at the teams ahead of them, like the Dallas Mavericks, yes, Luka Doncic has been injured for the past couple of weeks, so they're only 20-15, and they've lost like 4 in a row. So, the Mavs are going to be better than they're showing right now, but they're only 1 game behind the Dallas Mavericks. They're only, 1 game behind the Denver Nuggets as well, who obviously, could drop some games here, and they are a good team, but the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard could be just on that same level as the Denver Nuggets, and then the team ahead of them is the Lakers. So besides the top 3 teams that I think will probably finish, up there as the top 3 to 5 teams, like the OKC Thunder, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Houston Rockets, who are amazing, amazing teams. The Clippers after that, I mean, they're up there with the Lakers fully healthy. They're up there with the Nuggets fully healthy. The Dallas Mavericks, like if Kawhi Leonard's back to playing how we know Kawhi Leonard can play, and it works well with the rest of the guys on this team, Norman Powell still continues to play really good. Harden continues to still play really good. Zubac and a lot of their players on the team, if they start to continue to play well, this Clippers team could really be a threat in the Western Conference and could really make some noise as a team you don't want to play in the playoffs, because we know Kawhi Leonard steps it up in the playoffs. We know what he can do in the playoffs. We saw it in 2019. We saw it in 2021 before he got injured. We've obviously seen him win a Finals MVP on the Spurs in 2014. So we know what Kawhi Leonard can do in the playoffs. But if they can get there, which they probably can with Kawhi coming back, I mean, we'll take a look at their schedule here, and we'll see kind of what next games they do have coming up, because they play Atlanta tonight, like I mentioned earlier. That could be a game. Atlanta just lost to the Lakers. They're playing on a back-to-back. That's a game with Kawhi Leonard back. It's in LA. I think they could probably win that game pretty easily. They do have a couple hard games coming up against Minnesota and Denver, but very, very winnable games for the Clippers. They do got an easy game against Charlotte. Miami should be an easy-ish game just because of the whole drama going on there with Jimmy Butler getting suspended. And then you got like Brooklyn and Portland, LA, Chicago. So This is a Clippers team that I think could really start to make some noise once Kawhi Leonard gels back into the system with the Clippers. Once they start figuring out how they want to play with Kawhi in the lineup and in their rotation. I mean, this is a Clippers team I would not want to face in the playoffs. They're already the 7th seed, which I'm super impressed by. I mean, without Kawhi Leonard, I thought this team had no chance to even be a top 10 seed in a really stacked Western Conference. So the fact that they're already the 7th seed, 4 games above 500, and that's also with them losing 2 games in a row. Like, if we go back to their schedule, they've dropped their last 2 games to San Antonio and OKC, who are good teams, right? Like, obviously, the Thunder are the best team in the NBA right now, at least on paper. I would say they're the favorites. They're the best team with a really good win over the Knicks last night. And then they lose to San Antonio, which was a bad loss, you could say. But the Spurs, I actually think, are pretty good. And overall, the Clippers have been really, really good this season. I mean, without Kawhi Leonard for this entire season so far, we're already almost halfway into the year. A lot of guys on this Clippers roster have really stepped it up. I would say the first name is definitely Norman Powell. He's averaging the most points on the team at almost 24 a game on really good efficiency. He's shooting 44% from three. He's shooting 48% from the field. He's also getting you 2.5 assists per game, 3.5 rebounds. Like, he's not a great player other than scoring the ball right now, but he's giving you elite, red-hot scoring at an efficient level. So if you can put that scoring alongside Kawhi Leonard, puts a little bit less pressure on Kawhi Leonard to really be the number one guy every single time down the floor, I think is what Kawhi is going to need. He's going to need guys like James Harden, Norman Powell to really run the show and kind of let him just play off the ball a little bit more until he gets back into the swing of things. He gets back fully healthy and gets back to playing basketball in the NBA, because he's missed so much time and hasn't played in an NBA game, since last year in the playoffs. But James Harden has also had a really good season, I felt. I mean, maybe not the greatest efficiency numbers, less than 40% from the field, 35% from three. But numbers-wise, I feel like James Harden's been pretty good, for this Clippers team. 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, really good playmaker. We still know James Harden is one of the best playmakers in the NBA as of right now at almost 8 assists per game. He's also getting you 1.5 steals, so he's still active on the defensive end. And overall, I mean, this is a really good Clippers roster. Maybe not on paper, because if you look at the names, you're not seeing any superstars jump off the table to you, but Zubac has been one of the better centers in the NBA this year. 15 points, 12 rebounds, getting you a block per night. Really efficient under the basket, shooting 61% from the field. You've had Derek Jones Jr. play pretty good, 10 points per game. He's been solid efficiency as well. Kevin Porter Jr. has actually been giving you some good run. Even a guy like Amir Coffey has been shooting the lights out of the ball. He's scoring 10 points per game at 45% from three and 50% from the field. So I'm really liking this Clippers roster around Kawhi Leonard. I don't think they were going to really make any noise in the Western Conference with the current roster they have without Kawhi, just because once you get to playoff time, I feel like you need to have that superstar and a guy that can really carry you in those close games and really take control of a playoff 7-game series. And I didn't feel like this team really had it to do anything in the playoffs. They were just going to be like a solid regular season team in the Western Conference, maybe finish top 8 to 10. But with Kawhi Leonard fully healthy, this is a team that once they get to playoff time, if these guys can continue to play this well, knock down shots, play hard defense, this is a Clippers team that I think could really make some noise in the Western Conference. And if I'm the Lakers, if I'm the Nuggets, if I'm the Thunder, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, any one of these teams that right now are kind of at the top of the Western Conference, I would not want to play the Clippers. And they're going to maybe finish as a lower seed, so they're going to give a really hard game for like the 3 seed or the 2 seed potentially, or maybe even the 1 seed in the OKC Thunder. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Clippers roster so far this season? And what do you guys think is going to happen when Kawhi Leonard comes back? Do you think the Clippers are going to be real threats and maybe title contenders in the Western Conference? Let me know that type of stuff down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.